Thank you for tuning into another newly listed on the CSE clip. I'm Anil Mall. I represent the Canadian Securities Exchange, and I'm sitting down with Brayden Sutton. Brayden is the CEO of the BC Bud Corporation, just listed on the CSE. Brayden, how are you today?
I am awesome, Anil. Thank you for having me.
Of course, it's always a pleasure talking to you, Brayden. So let's talk a little bit about the BC Bud Corp. What is this company about? What do you do?
Yeah, well, we are a BC-based founder-led company, a company that's been primarily funded by its management. We're made up by industry professionals that have really touched this plant in many ways all over the world, frankly, in many US states and throughout Canada. Dating back, I myself was one of the early federal patients in 2004, which gave me an early insight into the medical world, and that really helped shape a lot of the decisions made in Canada. So we are full circle back, really focusing on British Columbia and really trying to bring together some of the best producers, some of the best distributors, retailers, and essentially making the consumer experience a little better as we get into this sort of third iteration of cannabis in Canada.
Got it. So Brayden, what was the strategy behind taking this company public?
Yeah, being a formative company, the CSE really has demonstrated an incredible ability for awareness, for access to capital. We recognize this as a time where hopefully we're at sort of the bottom of the trough, I would say, for cannabis sentiment. Legalization in 2018 was a bit of a sell the news event in the capital markets, to which the industry continues to go up every month, but even the top names currently being sold are still struggling. And frankly, the reason for that, I believe, is they're still losing money every quarter, indicating potential dilutive raises in the future or more debt. So there's a continual wait for a sort of bottom, which I think we're at or fairly close to, and we really want to be part of the turnaround and sort of bringing together the best cultivators and giving consumers a brand that they know is ran by experienced, convicted artisans, people that are passionate about this industry.
Brayden, obviously this is not your first time as a CEO of a public company. Talk to our audience about your background.
Yeah, it goes back in cannabis a long time. I started really from a blog in 2008, cannabishealth.com, which really was when the very first cannabis stocks started trading, actually, and they were not ones to watch, but they were just highly promotional OTC based companies. I was one of the few people on Twitter in 2009, 2010, 2011, warning people about a lot of these early names. Several years after that, and after gaining some trust online in the investment community, I was lucky enough to be part of the RTO, which was Supreme. Supreme Cannabis was bought this year by Canopy Growth for about $450 million. I left Supreme to join Aurora in its absolute earliest days. It also went through a RTO on the CSE, if you recall, at a time when nobody really was interested in the sector at all in 2014, and helped to raise awareness. Really shifted my focus to the United States. The CSE also did the same. I was a part of a lot of initiatives through Washington, Colorado, California, and then Las Vegas, and was a part of a lot of brand launches and a lot of bringing together a lot of firsts in the industry, in addition to selling many millions of individual SKUs. So big fan of the exchange. I personally was part of about $100 million of equity raising that happened, created many jobs for 3 or 4 really good names that continue to, I would say, continue to grow, not necessarily thrive with the sentiment, but they're all doing extremely well. And I think the CSE is a major component to that success. So I'm excited to be here again.
So Brayden, you've also mentioned that the BC Bud Corp, you have a lot of industry professionals behind this deal. Talk to us about some of your key team members.
Yeah, well, Josh Taylor, he's really in charge of the 4 different product SKU segments, soon to be 5. He's a professional in this industry that really made waves with another individual that works for us named Pat. In the rosin world, they're recognized with a High Times Award, and that is after a career as within the pharma industry, CPG industries. So he came through the cannabis industry as well, very honestly, with a real passion. First understanding the business components required to integrate this business into something economic and sustainable. We have Mark Lustig as an advisor to the company. He's also a significant owner, shareholder. I think Mark probably goes down, certainly in my mind, as the biggest name in cannabis globally. He had over $1 billion exit on Origin House, which was a CSE name, originally Cannabis Royalty and Holdings, bought by Cresco Labs. Cresco continues to do extremely well due to that acquisition. So we're extremely proud to have Mark. We have Brian Taylor as well on the team. Brian is the current mayor of Grand Forks. He's dubbed the marijuana mayor many, many years ago, founder of the BC Marijuana Party in 1996, to give you an idea of his roots. Dana Lange from Tricana, a very well-known CPA. She's also the founder of a well-run processor in Mission, British Columbia. We've got Justin Trevazian, who's also known. He founded Green Planet, I believe, in 1993. So one of the biggest brick and mortar providers in the cannabis industry since most of us were babies or children, and really a tremendous support staff all around that. So we are lean, we're efficient. All of those people are investors in the company, and all of them have very practical experience. And I'm very proud to say that we're one of the few organizations in BC or in Canada that we have truly a 100+ year hands-on practical cannabis experience within our team.
So obviously, strong background within yourself and the team, the passion, you already have that there. What makes a company like BC Bud Corp a unique investment opportunity?
I think the fact that we are relatively dynamic in that we're not a top-heavy infrastructure play, meaning we don't have, there's no exorbitant salaries, there's no exorbitant rents or facilities or requirements to create revenue in this business. So having a lean and dynamic model where the owners and the operators are actually the boots on the ground, making the decisions, getting the orders, negotiating the terms. It's ran like a business. It's ran like a founder-owned business would be run, opposed to something that maybe sees things broader or more macro with respect to let's raise a bunch of money and create a bunch of line items and hope that something sticks, opposed to building something brick by brick. Highly convicted and knowing what we're doing at the same time. So really the top-up approach, the from the heart approach, and the fact that we are truly good stewards of this capital because it is our own capital in addition to now being public.
Well said. Now, are there any milestones, Brayden, that you're able to talk about?
Certainly, yeah. Again, we have 4 ongoing product segments, soon to announce a 5th. So as those products roll out in various provinces, there'll be 2 provinces announced, I would expect in the next 3 to 4 weeks. And then through the rest of this year, we have additional launches. And then there is some incredible optionality on the M&A front, mostly rapport driven. We are, long ties in the industry, which give us incredible access to some of the assets that are out there currently, many of which we'd love to act on, but we, like a lot of the investors, we're kind of waiting to see how things look through the fall into winter, but certainly M&A in the long term and some product news in the near term.
Got it. So where can our viewers go to read up on your team, the company, and maybe sign up for your newsletter?
Definitely. The website is the best place to start. It is thebcbc.com. You can find us on Instagram, should be the BC Budco, at the BC Budco. We're also on Twitter, and happy to talk to anybody. I think all of our contact information goes directly to me as well. So if anybody wants to reach out, whether it be in the industry or opportunities, I'm happy to put you in touch with any member of our team.
Perfect. Brayden, I thank you very much for taking the few minutes to talk to myself and our audience about the BC Bud Corporation, your plans for the future, your team, as well as, why investors should be paying attention to you and your team. To everybody watching, I'm Anil Mall with the Canadian Securities Exchange, and you've been listening to Brayden Sutton. Brayden is the CEO of BC Bud Corporation, which is just listed on the Canadian Securities Exchange. Brayden, again, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Anil.
Thank you for tuning in to another newly listed on the CSE. Please feel free to hit like and share this content and hit subscribe if you haven't already.